It's your boy TB, the wannabe trucker. About to do a quick video about my journey through trucking, man. Stay tuned. Let's go. Very first company that I worked for was Prime Incorporated. Yes, Prime Incorporated, based out of Springfield, Missouri. So I got a hold of Prime because my dad drives for Prime. He still drives for Prime currently. My dad was just telling me that if you get into trucking, man, it's a great way to finance your own dream. You graduated college, you're in a great position, you don't have a house, you don't have a car, you can get out here on the road, and you can set yourself up for later on and set yourself up for right now. Because my dad, he knew that trucking wasn't my end goal. It's never been my end goal. So I took the challenge, and a lot of people was like, man, you got your college degree. Why are you going into trucking? But, you know, I seen the benefits of what it was doing for my dad, because my dad owed $20-some thousand in child support, back child support for my mother. He owed $15,000 in back child support for my brother. Right now, he probably owe my mom $2,000, paid off my mom, my little brother, and he did all that in 5 years, driving the truck. Period. So that right there should let you know the power of trucking at its finest. But my dad told me to come out here, man, finance my own dreams, start my own business, use that degree, get a new trade, and use trucking as a hustle, if nothing else. Use trucking as a hustle, because once you get that CDL license, I know y'all heard it 1,000 times. Once you get that CDL license, man, it's going to change the perspective of your life, because that's one less thing you got to worry about. Because you can always find a job as long as you have a great, safe record. Period, point blank. So I started at Prime January 2013. I had to do, I think, a certain amount of hours till I can get my CDL. I got my CDL February 13th, 2013. I remember that. So I think it took me like 2, 3, 4 weeks or something like that. I don't know. It probably took me a month, maybe, or maybe 2 weeks. I'm not sure. I don't know, because I don't even remember when I started in January. But I got my official hard copy of my license February 13, 2013. After that, we had to go into the TNT phase. TNT phase is basically hands-on training at its finest. Your instructor pretty much showed you how to drive a truck, and now they give you the opportunity to drive the truck and be a B seat or C seat, something like that. Your trainer always got to be on a truck with you when you're driving, but it gives you the opportunity to get the hands-on experience of learning how to drive the truck and have somebody sitting in the seat next to you or in the back of the bunk sleep, because once you got your CDL, you know, it's like team training. Really what it is like team training. But you got your trainer there teaching you how to talk to shippers and receivers, how to drop a hook, how to map out your trips, how to trip plan, just all those things you need to do to be successful after the training to get your own truck. I tell everybody, Prime for me was the best company to get my CDL because of the strict training that they have. Hands-on training. Like, you can't get that nowhere else. You can get that other place. Let me stop lying. But you can't get the quality like you can get at Prime. And then the relationship I had with my dad training me was amazing, man. It gave me the opportunity, man, to bond with my father, and also gave him the opportunity to teach me something that I'll hold near and dear to my heart forever. So I got out of TNT training about April. I ended up getting my brand new truck. I got a Freightliner Cascadia. It was probably only 1,000 miles on it, maybe, if that. And I got out there and I grind. One thing I want to tell you, your trainer, when you getting out here to get your CDL, can only teach you but so much. I learned more. He taught me all the techniques to back the truck. He taught me how to back the truck. But when I got out here on my own, I learned to perfect it. So y'all got to remember, as kids coming in, not kids, I'm sorry, because most of y'all grown, I apologize. Y'all got to remember, as young adults or older people coming in, that your trainer can only teach you but so much in that time frame that they have. But if you got a good trainer, they'll teach you everything you need to know to be successful And on top of you practicing out there on the road by yourself, you can perfect your craft all the way around. And then hopefully you got one of those trainers where you can always call them if you got a situation, or issue, or you need some help and advice. So, April, I got my own truck. It was good. When I got to Prime, I made some decent money. It was cool money. It was cool money. It was cool. That's all I can say. It was cool. It wasn't like, it was more than I was making in college. It was more than I know a lot of people was making. But when it comes to being out here on the road, pay isn't consistent, depending on the hours you got to drive, depending on the area you in, depending on if you're one of those drivers who make on-time deliveries. Just all these different type of factors can affect your pay from each week. So it can be up or it can be down, or depending on how often you need to go home. All those factors play into it. So for me, I made good money. I did my 8 months because I wanted to train. Because training is where, really, when it comes to trucking and big trucking companies, training is where the money is. So, yeah, I'm going to tell you that. Period. Training is where the money is. Because I'll say this. You can make anywhere from, I'm going to be real blunt and honest with you. You can make sometimes $400 or $500 checks being an owner-operator. You can make $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 checks. But when you're training, Prime sent us from east to west coast. So we was getting 5,000 plus miles a week. I was taking home probably $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 sometimes. But it was consistent because as long as I was training, as long as the wheels were moving on that truck, I was getting that type of money every week. That was the consistency, which I loved. But then it came a point in time where I was like, man, do I really want to be training during the winter? Do I really want to put somebody else's life? Do I really want to put my life in somebody else's hands? I missed my 10-hour break. I got to stay up while they sleep. Not stay up, but meaning I still got to kind of get some sleep, but still keep an eye on them at the same time to make sure they're doing what they need to do. But training at Prime, the money was great. I love Prime. I loved Prime. If Prime had pick your own freight like Schneider, I'd go back to Prime in a heartbeat. Because of just everything that Prime instills. Even though Prime got so many drivers, you know, if you get a good dispatcher, you got a great relationship with your dispatcher makes sure that he make you feel like you're one of one. And not a lot of companies do that. Like Schneider, I call in, I gotta say, this is driver 3, whatever my driver number is, right? Prime, I call in, my dispatcher's like, what's up, Tim? How you doing? But that's just the relationship and rapport I built up with my dispatcher because I always made on-time deliveries. I rarely turned down a load unless it was something that I couldn't do, or the weather, or just a place I just didn't feel comfortable with. Like me, I hated the Northeast. My dispatcher knew, send me in, send me out. Period. Send me in, send me out. That's the only way I go there, unless I'm training. Because the training, you get in, you get out. But Prime was an amazing company. And I will go back, but they don't got pick your own freight. And I don't want to go in the Northeast. And I don't want nobody sending me a load going to the Northeast when they know I don't want to go to the Northeast. My dispatcher tried it a couple times. But I took it because he know that I wouldn't go up there. But also, it just build that trust and that bond with you and your dispatcher to make sure that you always running and making sure that you always in a position to succeed. So I ended up leaving Prime in May of 2015 because one of my students I trained, she was a girl, her name was Lynetta Wilson. 6 months before that, she was just telling me about the oil field. So she was just preaching to me about the oil field so much and about how much money they making, how good the oil field was, just all that stuff. And I decided to leave Prime and go into the oil field. After I left Prime, probably the week after that of May 2015, I went and joined this company called Swaggin Wagon in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Swaggin Wagon was a great company. I won't say it was a great company. That was a good company. Oil field, we was making like $1,500, $2,000, up to $3,000 a week after taxes. That was the good part about it, because I'm like, man, I'm a company driver. I'm making this type of money after taxes. I'm doing good for myself. But May, June, July, everything was good. But it started to slow down. August, we set for like 1 week. Nothing. No freight, no nothing. No sand to pick up, no nothing. And the oil field, I built the bond with a lot of guys out there because it's not like a big trucking company where you don't see these guys. The guys you came to orientation with, you might see them only one time on the road, or you got in touch with them, you might see them. The guys in the oil field, we was all going to the same well. We was all going to the same place to pick up sand, so after work, we were going to eat. Just that bond we picked up with each other that I love. I love the oil field for that bond. The only thing about the oil field is we didn't get no sleep. We was running on paper logs. A lot of stuff out there was illegal. When I say illegal, I mean illegal. It was times where in 24 hours we didn't go to sleep. If we went to sleep, we took like an hour nap. They'd come knock on our truck and be like, come down to the well. Come down to the well, unload sand. I hated that because for the simple fact that I was tired sometimes. But it was like, you could call in and tell them that, I'm tired, I need to stop, I need to shut down. They'd be like, cool. It was times where you could get the sleep you need. But it was some times where you had to run. Well, you didn't have to because it wasn't forced. But if you wanted to make a good paycheck, you got paid off every load you picked up and delivered to the well. You go somewhere, like I was in, we was doing Louisiana, we was doing West Texas, they had some in Oklahoma. So it was times where it was like, man, we ran all day, ran all night. We just had to keep going, keep picking up, going, keep picking up and going. Everything was like in a 100-mile radius, though, maybe a little over 100, but it wasn't that far for you to go to pick up that sand. You picked up the sand, climbed on top of the trailer, you opened the hatches up, you got down, you got your paperwork, you went to the location, you set at the location. They came and got you when they was ready for you to unload. You had to get these big old hoses, hook them up to the back of your trailer, blow them off into the big canisters out there. It was fun. It was exercise. We was out there in the sun, the heat, the bond I made with the guys out there. I love the oil field. But when the oil prices start going down, that's when everything pretty much stopped. They dropped the rates on us. We was making like 25% per load. So there was sometimes we was getting like $200 to $300 to $400 per load. Then it started going down to like $119 per load. Then it started going down to $80 per load. So say you doing that, you pretty much doing 3, 4, 5 of them a day sometimes. Or if as the rates start dropping, you was only getting 1 or 2 in paying $50, $80. And then sometimes you was just sitting for a week. So I couldn't live like that no more. So I had to get out the oil field. I made good money for like 3 months. Then after that, the rates started cutting down for the next 3 months. But I was kind of dealing with it. And then till one day we sat for a week again. And I'm like, I cannot do this. I cannot keep living like this. So I got on Indeed.com and I found this company called Western Flyer Express. Western Flyer Express. It was a small company. They probably had 500 trucks. It was probably one of the best companies I ever worked for. A lot of our loads was light, unless we had to pick up Delta loads. 10 cents per ever so much miles out for your maintenance fund. So what that meant was, anytime I had to get an oil change, anytime I had a flat tire, anytime I had anything wrong with my truck, all they had to do was get it shipped back to they shop or get it fixed somewhere on the road, and it didn't affect my paycheck. For instance, the company I'm with now, if I had to get an oil change, and it cost me $300 and something. Say I made $1,600 that week. They gonna take that $300 out that $1,600 that I made, and that's gonna leave me with $1,300. So Western Flyer Express, you made $1,600 that week. You made $1,600 that week. That's period. I was getting paid $1 something per mile, we was getting like $3,000 to $3,500. I mean, 3,000 to 3,500 miles per week. They was only taking $100 and some out for my truck note, and they charge you excess miles. So my truck note can be anywhere from $100 to $600 per week. So if I didn't work that week, it was like $100. But if I did my whole 3,000 and something miles, my truck note for that week was probably $600, or or $500 and something my truck note. So I stayed under everything on I-40. I was running Texas region, which I love, especially during the wintertime. We was going from North Carolina to California, period. Everything on the I-40. So I was taking the 35 reset every week. I was making like $1,200, $1,300, $1,500. If I ran a recap, I might have made $1,700. But I got my 35 reset every week because I hated to run on those recap hours. Western Flyer Express was the best company that I ever worked for. Period. I left them only because pick your own freight. 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 You know, that's ringing off in the driver ear. It's like, pick your own freight. I'm going wherever I want to go. I can go wherever I want to go. I can do whatever I want to do. Pick your own freight. Pick your own freight. Pick your own freight. So I left. Was it a smart decision? Yes and no. I don't know. If I could go do it over again, would I have left them to come to Schneider? I don't know. I don't think so. But now I'm at Schneider. I signed that 1-year lease, so I'm stuck here for a year. I know that. But the reason I'm saying this is because Western Flyer Express, they pay for tolls, they pay for scales. If something happened to my truck, they got me a loaner truck to drive in so I can still make money that week or whatever I was running till my truck got fixed. I had a maintenance fund set up to the point where it didn't affect my pay if my truck had to go in the shop, because I either got a loaner truck or the money that it cost to fix my truck, they wasn't taking that out my check. They was taking it out in the sense of that 10 cents per whatever amount of miles. That was my maintenance. So that was already coming out regardless. So if I made $1,500 that week, they already took out my truck note. They already took out my insurances. They already took out my maintenance. So I just made $1,500. So if I got my truck fixed, whatever that cost, it didn't affect me none whatsoever. So in that sense, I had less stress. Because over at Schneider, something happened to your truck, that's on you, buddy. That's on you. So I ended up leaving Western Flyer Express in March. Came over to good old Schneider. Pick your own freight. 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 Now I'm at Schneider. Schneider IC. I'm on the IC Choice Program. Listen, I want all y'all who watching this video, you made it this far into the video. Don't let pick your own freight be the measure of you working for Schneider, because you got to remember one thing. Pick your own freight, loads canceled. Pick your own freight, might not know how to work the system right. Pick your own freight, still got a truck note, still got your insurance to pay, still got your maintenance fund to pay, and yeah. So if you're not making no money, you're going to make enough money to pay your truck note and your insurance and your maintenance fund. But can you still make enough money to survive? Yes and no, depending on you as a driver. I came to Schneider because of the whole pick your own freight thing. Pick your own freight sold me more than anything ever. Pick your own freight. I can go where I want to go. Pick your own freight. I can do what I want to do. Pick your own freight. I make my own schedule. Pick your own freight. I do what I want to do again. It's amazing. Like, I love Schneider so far. But when you coming into this, you got to remember, it's a business. Schneider's in this to make money just like you in it to make money. Every trucking company is out here to make money. They going to always make way more money than you going to make All these trucking companies are the same. Am I gonna stay at Schneider? I doubt it. When I came to orientation, I wanted this to be my last company, but only way I'll stay at Schneider is if I actually buy my own truck and then use their Schneider IC board or whatever it is. You can make a lot of money doing that, but they truck payments are extremely high, especially with the type of freight that they got right now. So it's like you can make 1,000, 1,200, maybe 1,500, depending on you. But if you get your own truck, you can make twice as more. I want to get into the tanker. The company I really want to work for is this company called Genox, based out of Texas. But I can't get with them unless you got 1 year experience with a tanker, because I think they like natural gas. But you got to have a 1 year experience to haul for them because insurance purposes. But yeah, it's TB to want to be trucking, man. Like, subscribe. I just wanted to let y'all know my journey through trucking so far. Just give you a brief, synopsis of me.